All right, Washington Commanders, the Washington football team was known before that, the Washington Redskins before that. Right now, the owner of that team, Dan Snyder, is exploring a possible sale of the team or looking at his financial options and utilizing the skills of Bank of America to explore such opportunities. Doug Eldridge, sports agent extraordinaire, kind enough to weigh in on this. I think, Doug, he paid about $800 million for the team some years back. How much do you think it could go for today?
Well, the speculation is anywhere from $6 to $7 billion with a B. So wow. He's getting an exponential return on his investment. Sports franchises across the landscape are at record highs we've never seen before. So this is, if indeed this is a move indicative of him pushing his chips to the middle of the table, this is the best time to do it.
And, you know, you remind me in the past, it doesn't matter the attendance or the performance of the team. It's a major franchise in a major metropolitan area. That speaks for itself. But you have to have pretty deep pockets. It's usually a lot of very wealthy families who merge forces together, but not all the time. So who would be interested in maybe kicking the proverbial team tires?
Well, the two names here in D.C. are Ted Leonsis, who owns the Washington Wizards, formerly the Bullets, and the Cavuto. Or building HQ right up the road from me, Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon. Either would be likely contenders, and certainly they're already in this market. And as you mentioned, DC is a top 10 media market. It's the seat of government. This franchise has 3 Super Bowls to its name. It's one of the truly historic and iconic franchises in the league, even though the last 2 decades have been kind of subpar even by their own estimations. This is an invaluable investment and really a crown jewel in the $16 billion empire that is the NFL.
Do you think that he should be penalized, that is Snyder, because he went along with the idiotic name Washington Commanders?
Sir, here in D.C., that has gotten so much grief. There were so many different contenders.
The Washington football team was fine. When they went with that was fine. Just fine. It's not great, but it's certainly better than Commanders. Who came up with that?
Well, my son has 3 different drawers of Washington paraphernalia, all with the different names.
Right,
some he can wear out of school, some he can't. But as you alluded to, teams win, teams lose. Owners make money nonetheless. And through the name changes, even through the barrage in the court of public opinion, potential litigation now in the court of law, looming congressional reports that are going to be released, this is the time to get out, right? We always talk about supply and demand and markets. He bought in relatively low. He has the potential to sell at an all-time high. And before his market value gets dinged, if there are, and again, if there are further revelations that come out about the organization, how it may or may not have been run for the last several years. So this really is an opportune moment, not just in terms of the marketplace that is sports franchises, but also specific to some of the baggage, right? The assets and liabilities. This team is carrying some very heavy looming liabilities on that side of the ledger. There's no shortage of reasons to sell.
Got it. Real quickly while I have you, too, because I hadn't had a chance to catch up with you post the news of Tom Brady's divorce from Gisele Bündchen. Apparently the paperwork's done. It's all put away. But he's had a bumpy start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think 3-5. Maybe all of this was factoring into his play. Looking to this weekend, how do you think he'll do?
I've said over and over, I'm a broken record, never bet against Brady. Right? This is his worst start in his entire career. Not just the greatest career, but a 20-year, 21-year now career. And this is his worst start. So that speaks in of itself. I think he's going to be locked and loaded. And I think if there is a guy that has a chip on his shoulder and a bit to grind the back half of this season to prove something, it's Tom Brady. Get ready for a show.
All right. We'll watch closely. Doug, thank you very much. Doug Eldridge. And I feel for your son. I have the same type of issues with saving all this merchandise for what? I have no idea.